All right, guys, we're back again. We are working on the MSD solid state relay today. It's just going to be in this general area. That's not its final position right there. I have a back plate that actually sits right here, and then it's going to rest up against the back plate, but I'll figure out how I do it later. I just want to get everything hooked up right now and working. Anyway, let's go over how I got this wired. So, as you can see, I got a lot of reds in there. This is going to be 12 volt switch activation. We got one of these that are ignition, which is it's going to control the 12 volt switch. We got a power, which is this center guy. It's not hooked up. If I can pull it out for you, it's right here. So this has got to connect to the battery. There's a negative source in there, which is this guy. That's already connected to the battery. And then these bars right here, or ports, this one is going to be controlling the fuel injectors and the coils on this guy. Next one over is going to be the fuel pump. It's also going to be the scavenger pump. The center one is battery positive. It's also going to the ignition. So every time I go to turn on the on-off switch, it activates over here to this side, which turns on the coils and the injectors. It gives the 12 volt activation to those. I also made a jumper from this guy to the third one over, which if you look, 1, 2, 3, this guy right here, that port, that's going to be our nano system and our flex fuel sensor. What I read on the paper that I received with the flex fuel sensors, it needed to be 12 volt controlled, so 12 volt activation power source. So that's how I have this wired up. Scavenger pump is also plugged into the ground. That's connecting to the battery over here. Let's see. Other than that, I need to finish these guys up right here and run these into the ignition. And one of them is going to go to the key ignition. It's going to tether out, it's going to go from here over to here, and then from here to the starter relay down here, and then to a ground. I don't know, I think I messed up somewhere in there. Anyways, it's all going to loop back into the MSD box over here. Once I get it all wired in, it's easier to show you because then I can explain it without having to have you guys use your imagination. My imagination is all over the place. I got ADD. So anywho, I'm gonna figure out some of these other wires here, and I will connect back with you guys later. But other than that, I believe as soon as I get this up and going, we are gonna have the power source to everything individually, instead of how I had it prior where I was just doing a test run and I bounded all the wires together for the fuel injectors, the coils, the nano system. What else did I wire in there? I kept some of them out, like the oil scavenger pump. I kept that guy out. So, and then flex fuel, I twisted that in here with these guys, and then I put them all into that positive, and it was just for a test run, while I also tried to see if it would crank the bike over and if the bike would start. Well, nothing had enough power going to them to activate them properly. So now that I got this guy in here, which I should have had this guy in here from the beginning, this will probably give us a better signal reference, a power source to everything that needs power. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and chip away at this a little bit more, and then I will go ahead and get back to you guys as soon as I get it all figured out. There's some modifications that I'm not too excited about that I have to mess with the harness, and unfortunately, fuel pump right here, now that I have the solid state MSD relay in there, the blue wire from the ECU is going to have to run into here to activate the fuel pump. Fuel pump is right there. Is it right there? Yeah, fuel pump is right here. So, and then the ground wire that would originally be here is going to run to chassis ground. So a chassis ground, and then ECU ground signal to MSD solid state relay to activate the pump to turn on from here. Oh, confusing, huh? Anyways, this whole bike is confusing. Everything about it. I'll get back to you guys later. I'm gonna chop some more at this and see where we land off.